Hey guys, it's Irene's Braids and I am back with another video. So let's just jump right into it. So we'll be doing some boho knotless and we will be doing a bob look. The look that we're going for is going to be just a tad bit longer and it's not going to rest exactly on the shoulders, being that her natural hair is longer. So to begin our braids, we are using some Kids Expressions pre-stretched hair. This hair is really good to use because it already comes shortened. You can just razor off just a few of the unnecessary parts that you don't need. But for the most part, I like how this hair is stretched and ready to go. So as always, I'm going to separate my client's hair into 3 sections. And as I get to the left side of her head, I'm adding in a small piece of braiding hair. And I'm going to braid that in about 3 times. And once I braid that in about 3 times, I will take another piece of the same size that I used the first time, and I'll add that in as well until I create the size of the braid that I'm looking for, a true medium. You don't want the braid to be too thick because then it'll be too hard to hide the curls. Now, tip number 1. You don't want to start adding curls to the back of the nape, nor do you want to start adding curls as you go up about 2 to 3 rows. And the reason being is because 1, it saves you on hair. Let's start there. And then 2, and when I say hair, I'm speaking of the curly human hair. Okay, and I will drop a description photo of that hair we'll be using as well for the boho look. But the reason why you don't want to start adding too much hair is because 1, you don't need it in the back. Clients will be laying all over it. And when it comes to styling, it just makes life a lot easier. So whether you're doing a bob look, if you're doing a mid-back look, waist length, hip, tail, whatever the case may be, your first 3 rows, sometimes 4, do not need to have curls throughout the braid. You only need to perm rod the ends. That's it. Well, I take that back. You only need to perm rod the ends when it comes to this particular look, the bob. But when you're doing traditional boho knotless, such as mid-back, waist, and hip length, then you'll just do a regular knotless braid and then add a piece of human hair curl to end off the braid. Now, some people do perm rod their ends and then they only add the boho curls throughout. So it's really about preference. If you like the human hair on the ends, add a piece of human hair. If you like your ends to be perm rodded, perm rod them. And if you like both, mix it. So that's how you'll do that. So as you can see here, I am perm rodding my braids off like so. We are not adding any curls to them. I'm going to perm rod them. And when you perm rod them, you want to roll them up a little higher so that way you can know how short your bob is going to fall. So we did about, I want to say 3 rows of just traditional knotless, and we added perm rods on the first 3 rows. So that's what we did here. And that is so necessary because it just helps you get an idea of what your bob look is going to look like, what that level of how far you need to braid and add the curl should look like. So this is going to give you a pinpoint. Now, please keep in mind that I like to dip as I go. So being that I've already rodded the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and finish out this second row of braids. I'm going to rod them as well, and then I'm going to go ahead and start dipping them. Dip in layers. It saves you so much time. So when it comes to dipping it, you guys, you need to be able to have an electric kettle, or if you're at home, put a pot of water on the stove. And then once the water gets to a nice boil, go ahead and add that hot water into a small coffee cup. And then maybe half hot, and then add a few drops of cool water, just that way it can be not so hot. You don't want it too steaming. And then you'll use that to curl. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in this clip here. So being that her hair is a little longer and I'm going for a bob look, I'm going to taper off some of the braiding hair. So with that being said, I'm going to move out her natural hair, make sure it's not in the way. And once I get all of her natural hair out of the way and it's not laying with the braid, I'm razoring in a downward angle so that way it's tapered. And that's how you're going to razor off some of the hair and then braid down to as far as the tip as possible. And then once you get to that point, you want to go ahead and start rolling it. And remember, you guys, when you're rolling the hair, make sure you're rolling it and you're twisting your wrist as you roll. Twist that wrist because that's going to help you get a nice grip. And because I tapered it off, I like to roll the remaining pieces over what I've already done so that way it can kind of stay in place and the curls will start to unravel. So here is my cute little Aquarius cup. It was given to me as a gift because I am an Aquarius. And if you are an Aquarius, you are my type of people. Us Aquarius, we take our job so seriously. Anything we do in life, we take pride into what we do. So if you are an Aquarius, team us. So yeah, you guys, that's how I'm doing it. I'm dipping it in sections just like that. And then once you dip it, go ahead and let them rest. Of course, this clip is done in increments. So it looks like I just dipped it and just took it out immediately. I did not. I actually let them sit for a little bit and then I unraveled them. I want to say I let them sit for about a good 2 minutes and then I unraveled it. Now, as I move forward throughout my process, they will sit longer because what I will do is I will rod them, dip them, and then I'll keep braiding. The only reason why I took the first two out sooner and only let them rest for 2 minutes is because I need to get a good pinpoint of how far this look is going to be braided down so I can start adding the curly hair. And without me unraveling those perm rods at the bottom, it does not help give me a guideline. I need a guideline. So that's why I do that. But for the remaining of them, you can keep them in a little longer. Now, when you're doing these braids, you guys, in order for the back to not look so spacey, you need to do brick layer parting in the back. I typically do the brick layer parting throughout the entire head. My brick layer is not as precise as most people. I just kind of follow the concept of making sure the braids are falling in between the braid under. That is my goal. Because if your braid above falls in between the braid under, it helps close in the gaps. So that's what I like to do. As you can see here, I'm adding in my human hair. And when I add in my human hair, I'm adding it in smaller pieces, not too thick, because the thicker it is, the harder it is for you to blend in. And when I add that in, I'm adding that in underhanded. So as you can see, I stop and I add it between my index and thumb fingers. So it doesn't matter what side you do it on. I typically do it on the left because that's just what's comfortable for me. It doesn't make it right or wrong on what side you do it on. I know some people that like to braid it in and then pull the piece out and continue to braid. You just do what's comfortable for you. There is no, right or wrong when it comes to how you add the hair in, as far as in how you place it in. You don't want to add too many pieces down. As you can see, I only added them a little higher up. And the reason being is because it's going to be perm rodded at the tips. As you can see here, I'm going to perm rod them. And then once I perm rod them, I'm going to dip them and I'm going to let them rest. So that way I can let them curl and then the curls can be strong and stay, in for the time being of the style. So with the human hair, this hair, we only use 1 pack. But I highly suggest if you have a fuller head to get 2 packs. It does not mean that you'll use all 2. It's just another pack to borrow from should you need to add a few more pieces at the top. Sometimes you need like just a few pieces. And that second pack, is helpful to do that. And then of course, no matter how full you want your curls really, really full, then you can add more hair. But we're trying to make this a manageable style. We don't want to add too many curls, just enough to make the style. Not enough to where she's having to get up and manage hair every single day. Now, this is a very high maintenance hairstyle, you guys. So please keep that in mind, that you will have to do work. You will have to get up and make sure you detangle daily. That is so important when it comes to a style like this. Being that the hair is shorter, it doesn't require you to do too much maintenance, but definitely want to make sure that you tie it down at night. I typically tell my clients to use a scarf when dealing with this type of style, and push the curls back, lay your scarf down above the front of your head, up under the curls, back around. That way it's tied off nicely. And then when you shower, go ahead and put a little shower cap on. So tie your hair up first, add your shower cap, and that's fine. You'll be good. And then probably take your scarf off. Once you're done, take your shower cap off and then put a dry scarf on when you go to bed. So that way your, scarf isn't wet. So probably have like 2 to 3 scarves. And then in the morning time when you get up, I like to take a little bit of Nairobi foam to the curls just to kind of make sure the curls are set. And then a little bit of oil sheen. Those are the only 2 products I tell my clients to use when it comes to the bob look. And then when it comes to the foam, you don't want to oversaturate your curls. It's just enough to kind of lightly puff the curls back up, make them look nice and plumped, but not enough to saturate them. You don't want to saturate your curls. So yeah, pretty much we're just loving this style so far. It's turning out nicely. This has definitely been a very highly requested style on my books. And a lot of my clients have been getting this style for vacation. So this is a great vacation style. All right, you guys. So we are getting to the finish line here. It is turning out so pretty. I just love this bob look. Look at this, you guys. Isn't that pretty? So what I'm going to do is I'm using my scissors to kind of clean up the curls a little bit. And as you can see, I'm cutting at a downward angle. And then once I unravel the curls, if I need to snip, I will. But I'm careful with snipping on this particular client because her hair is a little longer. So I don't want to snip too much because if I do, I could be possibly snipping her hair. So being that it's curled into perm rods, you want to kind of see what you're cutting as you're cutting. Now, once you unravel all of your perm rods and you get your curls snipped off a little bit, what you want to do is go in with a little bit of Nairobi foam and definitely some oil sheen. And I'm sorry, you guys, when I do the oil sheen, I lather it in there really, really good because I don't want these curls to start tangling or, doing anything unnecessary. So I do give the curls a lot of love with the oil sheen. But I love how full it is. We only use 1 pack. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I did dip into the second pack, but it was to literally finish 1 braid. So Miss Joy's head is a little bit fuller. So we laugh about that all the time. So remember, if your client's head is a little bit fuller, go ahead and get a second pack. And you could get this hair from samsbeauty.com. That's where we ordered it from. And it was about $57 a pack. They normally have it on their website for about 16 some change. So I want to say with shipping is about $70, but they have it as low as 57 right now. The local beauty supply stores sell it too, but the local beauty supply stores are selling that human hair for about $100 a pack. So if I were you, I would definitely go on Sam's Beauty. I just don't feel like you need to buy expensive hair for these type of styles because it's literally, 30 days. If you can stretch it 2 months, cool. But you don't want to spend a lot of money on styles like this. A bob look, just get some affordable human hair and call it a day. So those are the two products I like to use right there. As you can see, I'm spraying that oil sheen there really, really good. I just feel like the oil sheen makes the curls pop, in my opinion. If y'all like this style, please let me know. Drop some comments in the comment section. Let me know if you like this style. Would you wear this style for vacation? Are you feeling these curls? What do you think about the curls? What do you think about the length? What do you think about the style just in general? Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will definitely see you guys in my next video. Until next time, bye guys.